Hello, Meg here from I Teach Stamping, and welcome to the Friday Flip. So the Friday Flip is where we take one project idea and we flip it into something completely different, either keeping what we like and changing up what we don't, or just changing out the stamps and the images to make it a completely different card. So let's go ahead and dive in by taking a look at our inspiration card. So here is our inspiration card. I love so much about this, but I love how simple it is. I love the mix of texture and the different angles. We've got the hearts with the circles and the squares. I just love all the pattern mixing on it. So we're going to take this and we are going to change it up. So the first thing we're going to do is some dry embossing. This is going to be on a piece of Tip Top Taupe, which is a tongue twister, and the Elegant Dots embossing folder. So we're going to take this and get it nice and lined up and zip this on through the old Big Shot, and then that's all we're going to use the Big Shot for. The next thing that we'll work on is our stamping. So let's go ahead and take this on out. Let me get this fabulous texture. All right, so we're ready to move the Big Shot out of the way and bring in our grid paper. All right, so let's go ahead and do our stamping. I'm going to be using the new Lots of Joy stamp set from Stampin' Up. So as one of my stampers said earlier this week, it's never too early to start on Christmas cards, and I totally agree. So we're going to use the Real Red ink onto an extra piece of white cardstock. The measurement doesn't matter as long as it's big enough for you to stamp this and then punch it out. Right? And then next we're going to bring in a piece of white cardstock, 2.5 by 1 7/8. I want to double check that measurement real quick there. And we're going to use our imaging sheet. And I'm going to stamp this, and our stamp-a-jig. I'm going to stamp this to the right-hand side of this sentiment, or of this white paper. Tongue-tied today, ever since I said Tip Top Taupe. All right, so we've got that, and now we're going to grab our green ink. And I'm using Cucumber Crush. I love the bright green of this. It's just so vibrant. And I think it looks really good with Real Red. So we're going to ink that up and stamp. All right, that is all of the stamping that we're going to do. So we'll get all of this moved out of the way. And the next thing that we're going to do is some paper piercing. So I'm going to use the new Essentials paper piercing. And the first thing that I'm going to do, actually before we paper pierce, I got ahead of myself. I'm going to take a 1 3/8 inch circle of Tip Top Taupe. And I'm going to attach it, not exactly in the middle, just a little bit lower behind that. And then we're going to take this and we're going to layer it onto a strip of that Cucumber Crush. Boy, I really am tongue-tied. It's going to be 2 1/4 by 4 inches. We're going to take this, we're going to line this up. And what I'm lining up is these circles. And we're going to do paper piercing around this. So I'm not going to go onto that white cardstock. That's going to be my stopping point. All right, so we have that. And then the next thing I want to bring in is a strip of red cardstock. And this is going to be 4 inches wide. The height of it doesn't matter. As you can tell, most of it's being covered up. And then once I have this, I'm going to do some more paper piercing. Lining up the dots. I'm just going to do one row and work my way on down. All right, so now that we have that, we're ready to do the final assembly of our card. So we're going to add some adhesive to the back of this. We're going to drop it on like so. And then I didn't get enough adhesive back there. Then I'm going to bring in, so let's just fix that real quick. There. Much better. All right, then I'm going to bring in our card base. And this is just going to be Whisper White, 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5.5. And then I'm going to take this and we're just going to drop it down on top. 2 more things, and believe it or not, we are done with this card. So I'm going to take this stamped piece here in the 1 inch square punch. grab a dimensional. I'm just going to put that right like so. One other thing we need, I ahead of time took the 10-second bow maker and some white baker's twine and tied it into the pretty bow that you see here. I'm just going to take some liquid glue and drop that in place. And there you have it, easy breezy Christmas card. So let's go ahead and take a look at our inspiration card and bring this one in. Let's talk about what we kept and what we changed. We kept the texture here, but rather than just having it on the strip, I applied it to the entire 4" by 5 1/4" piece of cardstock. And rather than doing the scallop, I brought in some paper piercing to add a little, a little texture there. We kept the bow, we changed out the heart, but we kept the circle behind it. We kept our sentiment. So another Friday flip already done. If you like the Friday flip, please be sure to like this video below. Also be sure to share it with your friends. Then head on over to iteachstamping.com. Make sure that you are signed up for my mailing list, my email list, so that you never miss any of the great paper crafting tips that I share in there. I've gotten great response to those. I just started that not too long ago. So I hope that you enjoyed the Friday flip. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Again, I'm Meg from I Teach Stamping, and have a great day.